Hi, I'm JP.
And I'm Adam.
I've never seen Lost.
I have.
I'm told that it's good.
I liked it.
I'm told that it made sense.
Sort of.
But we're watching it out of order.
So it definitely won't make sense.
But it might still be good. Since we won't expect it to make sense, we'll still be able to appreciate each episode on its own merits as a 1-hour story.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
As opposed to just a fraction of an ongoing, sprawling, and increasingly complex tangle of relationships, personal stories, mysteries, mythologies, experiments, social dynamics, unnatural disasters, unanswered questions, and hot tropical hookups.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
Because you lost me a little bit there at the end.
Well, good, because I've been lost since the beginning. We're lost on Lost. Welcome, everybody, to Lost on Lost. I am JP Russell, joined as always by the man who has his eye on the second hand of his digital watch, Adam Busher.
It's a sweeping hand, which means it's expensive.
Adam, so after watching this episode, I found a pretty interesting article in Scientific America about the concept of perceived difficulty and deadline pressure and how that affects tasks and how they might distort our perception of time. There's a bunch of scientists and they theorize that spatial perception is shaped on how effortful a task is. I didn't get to finish the article because I had to write this intro, and that was 8 minutes ago. So today, we are talking about 3 minutes, the 22nd episode of Season 2, and the 47th episode overall. Our centric character is Father of the Year, runner-up for the 3rd year in a row, Michael Dawson. 3 minutes takes place on the 52nd, 54th, 62nd, and 65th days after the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. You got a recap for us?
I have a recap of sorts. Sure.
Okay.
3 minutes. Man of action! 13 days ago, Michael Dawson gave John Locke a concussion with the very rifle that John was kind enough to give to him. After traipsing through the jungle aimlessly, Michael gets captured by the others and receives a head wound of his own, courtesy of Alex the Menace, who is very sorry, but not sorry enough to not clobber him. The others' camp gives new meaning to the phrase roughing it, and we discover Danny Pickett's phlebotomy certification must have come from a box of Cracker Jack. At the Survivor Beach, it's Infrastructure Week. Charlie Pace struggles to complete Mr. Echo's church while Kate Austin and Hugo Reyes dig some more holes. And yet again, Saeed Jarrah proves to be smarter than your average survivor by telling Jack Shepard something he should have known all along. At the hatch, Mr. Echo tries to install Oregon Trail on the computer, and James Ford finally makes a friend. Will our heroes find Walt? Will we ever watch another Son and Jin episode? And just who is James Ford? Find out not this week with 3 minutes here on Lost on Lost.
Oh, bravo. Bravo.
We've got a guest.
Do we?
We do.
Oh my gosh.
Surprise, surprise.
Who is it?
Audience at home, please join us in welcoming to the show, Shaina.
Hey!
I am a, hello, I'm Shaina. I'm a singer, dancer, all-around entertainer, and good frenemy to JP.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We have to share a cube at work every day, so this is... Do we count this as working overtime?
I mean, I count everything anytime I spend with you as overtime.
That's fair.
So, Shaina, let's get to know you a little bit.
Hey folks, JP with a quick interruption. Typically this is the part of the show where we would talk to our guest and ask them, what they do professionally, if they work in the film and television industry. And I'm sure Shaina would tell you something like, well, I'm this really talented film producer. I'm here to set the record straight. Professionally, Shaina sniffs farts. She's a fart sniffer. Do what you love and you never work a day in your life and whatnot. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Okay, back to the show.
We always like to kick off our little guest interview here by asking what your relationship with the television show Lost is. Did you watch it when it originally aired back in 2004? Did you stream it or DVD it after the fact? Have you never seen it? Were you supposed to be on a Wings podcast and we sent the wrong link?
I have never seen Lost before. I'm familiar with the show. Mm-hmm. Just because how could you not if you were living through that time?
Right.
I think I've seen that opening airplane sort of scene about 1 million times, but that's up until yesterday when I watched this episode. That is all I've ever seen of Lost.
All right.
And we gave you a hell of an episode to start out with then.
Yeah, it was pretty special.
Yeah.
So then you weren't watching Lost back in 2004, 2005, 2006, whatever. What were you watching instead, would you say, 17 years ago?
Oh, wow, 17 years ago. I actually think I was watching reruns of The Wonder Years for sure because it came on ABC Family like mid-morning. And so after I'd come back from class, I would hook up with some Wonder Years. And then also that's where I started watching Gilmore Girls because they were also rerunning Gilmore Girls. And so I've now seen Gilmore Girls about 150 times all the way through.
So do you like serialized television? Do you like episodic television, comedies, dramas? Like what would you say is your wheelhouse as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, a little bit of both, but I'm mostly into serial. Wow, I can't even say that word. I'm going to skip that. Comedies. I'm mostly into comedies. I love Schitt's Creek because if you don't love Schitt's Creek, you can fuck right off. I really recently have been into a lot of HBO Max shows. So I just watched all of Hacks, White Lotus. But then I also watch really trash television, which is along the same lines as Lost. I've binge watched Manifest, which is a trash show.
It could be coming back, though. Could be coming back.
It started off pretty interesting, and then it just got too weird, which I think if I were to continue watching Lost would probably be the same sort of situation. Sort of vibe,
yeah.
Yeah.
I know you and Nick, you guys can ferociously sort of get through seasons of shows, so I'd say that you while you have not watched Lost, you've watched enough serialized television to be able to weigh in on this fucking episode.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I have a spreadsheet of all the shows that we've watched in their entirety. And then also current shows that we've watched up until the new season has started.
That's a good way to do it.
Awesome. Y'all want to get into this here episode of Lurst?
Let's do it.
Might as well.
All right. So today we are talking about 3 Minutes. 3 Minutes originally aired on May 17th, 2006, which is exactly 2 years to the date after our previous episode. It was written by Edward Kitsis and Adam Horowitz and was directed by Stephen Williams. Edward Kitsis, because everyone is talking about his very exciting and upcoming work on Muppets Live Another Day. And Adam Horowitz, you've no doubtly heard the rumors on his work on the highly anticipated series Muppets Live Another Day. And Stephen Williams is that guy that directed that one episode of 1-800-MISSING.
When the opening credits of the show were playing after the title card, I admit I was zoning out a little bit, and I saw Stephen Williams' name pop up in the lower third as the producer, one of the producers of the show. I was like, oh, Stephen Williams. And I realized I was completely not paying attention to what was happening in the episode.
Well, actually, there's some pretty interesting credit stuff that happened in this, but we'll get into that here, because 13 days ago.
Yeah.
I know we're going to get into some shit here even before anything happens before the first title card, but this reminded me so much of The Brig, how it's like, oh, we got to do this jumping around in time thing because that's Lost, but it absolutely did not work. Like, it doesn't need to be there.
I found that interesting because there's a parallel there. The Brig is season 3, episode 19, so it's very close to the end of season 3. This is very close to the end of season 2. Game of Thrones did this thing where, like, the most kick-ass episode of every season was the second to last episode, and then the last episode was like a denouement or whatever, like just kind of a wind down from all the big climax stuff that happened before.
Right.
Lost doesn't do this.
Yeah.
Because, I felt the same way. I was about halfway through, and I was like, this feels like The Brig, and not in the ways that I liked The Brig.
Yeah. Well, and they're not consistently adhering to their own ways of using flashbacks and title cards, and I don't know. It's a weird one.
But 13 days ago, John Locke's just got a shitload of guns.
Okay, yes. I actually made a note about that. I literally just wrote down, where did all these guns come from? I clearly missed something.
So did we. It's very much a dad, can I borrow the car situation, but it's dad, can I borrow this means of extinguishing someone's life? And John Locke has this like dad energy, like, oh, sure, slugger. Like, oh, you're
Just be
trying
careful out there. I know you've been getting pretty good with it, but just remember it's not a toy. You know.
Yeah. Like, oh, trying to keep this from old Jack. Okay, this can be Michael and Johnny Locke's little secret.
You want a rifle? Sure, but don't tell your mom.
Actual conversation I had with my father when I was a child.
So yeah, Locke gives him a rifle.
And Michael gives him a rifle back.
Just pounds him with it. Just like.
I felt there was a lot of that in this episode. A lot of concussed people walking around that island.
There's a lot of stuff happening in this episode surrounding Michael and secrets, keeping things from the other survivors. I've managed to keep a few secrets in my life without ever knocking somebody out. Like, I feel like if his job was to get a rifle and just run away, he would have got a head start on the party that would have eventually come looking for him had he not left a trail of evidence behind him saying something horrible happened. Even if they don't know that, I mean, because like Locke's going to wake up, you know, Jackson be like, Locke, what happened? And he'd be like, fucking Michael jumped me. It's like, well, let's go get him. Like, if he just grabs the rifle and be like, all right, I'm going to go target shooting. I'll be back in an hour. An hour and 5 minutes goes by, and then John Locke's like, well, Michael never came back with that rifle. I wonder if he's okay. Guess who's got an hour head start to wherever he's heading? But that part just didn't make sense to me why he had to knock Locke out.
I don't know.
But from there, he goes to the computer. He logs into AIM and shoots Walt a quick message.
Hey, you up?
Okay. So I have a question, and maybe you guys can fill things in, having watched previous episodes. Where the hell did this computer come from?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you brought this up in the intro, because I wrote, does it have Oregon Trail? Or Oregon Trail for those people.
Like, Mr. Echo is very intently at the computer, and we have no idea what he's doing. And I literally, I put, he's playing Oregon Trail, because that's what you do on, like, dot matrix, like, Apple IIe style computers. That's just all you could do.
The one green color, that's the only thing that's on there. Yep.
But yeah, he just starts typing away. We have seen him previously type away at the computer, and apparently Walt is just always at the other end. So...
yeah,
or who he thinks is Walt.
I did write during this computer scene when Walt replies, why does he capitalize whole?
What?
I don't know if you noticed this, but he sends that big long message, and the only word all caps is whole.
When he's describing how to find his location.
Yes. And it stood out to me.
HOLE or WHOLE?
Yeah, because
like a big hole in the ground.
Oh man, I did not catch that.
And I was like, huh. Seems unnecessary. Like he was yelling it. Look for the hole.
I'm over here I'm near a sand pile in a hole. See you soon, Dad. Love you, XO.
Yeah. Capital H hole. We jump to today with Michael
present. Yeah.
Burning his grocery list.
Never do that, because you gotta know you're gonna forget something.
Also, we know later on that it's only 4 names of people that he knows, that he's known for like 50 some odd days. Yeah. You think he could remember 4? Like, yeah, I don't need the piece of paper. I don't need this incriminating piece of evidence on my person. But
yeah, so he burns this note and just throws it on the forest floor, like not double checking to make sure that it's completely extinguished. Like, I know it's a damp jungle. It's probably going to be hard to start a forest fire, but only you can prevent forest fires, Michael. And
one time I was on a bus in high school and I lit a match, and the entire bus could smell it. Like, him burning a piece of paper, I feel like Jack would be able to smell that 5 feet away. Like, what are you doing? I'm fucking rolling a J. Get out of here. Leave me alone.
I stole smokes from Sawyer. You want one?
Yeah.
They go back into the hatch. Sawyer, Hurley, Kate, Jack, and Michael are together having a meeting.
So I was super confused here, Shane. I don't know how you were faring.
I was distracted by the worst fake blood I've ever seen.
What's all this ketchup doing on the floor?
Literally, I was like, they just took some fruit punch and put it on the floor.
Yeah. I was very confused as to how Michael had convinced people that it wasn't him that murdered everyone.
Yes. We saw
yes.
we've seen Two for the Road, in which the big bad thing happened.
Right.
Where he he shot Ana Lucia and Libby. So we all know that he did it. But yeah, how did he like?
I thought when we had finished that episode that he like shot himself in the head. Like I thought he killed himself.
Right.
We come to understand that like he's blaming it on Ben.
Right.
But that's really glossed over.
Dude,
like it's sort of inference.
So thin. Like yeah. This guy who we've been beating to a pulp for the last 10 days straight. Like Henry's morning routine is crust of bread, glass of water, 10-30 pounding, a cheese sandwich, 2-30 pounding, like maybe a little bit of TV time, and then one more quick pounding before bed. Like the dude was.
I do love a pounding before bed.
I knew you were gonna say that.
But he's a living bruise. Like his whole body's yellow and purple. And it's like, oh yeah, this guy got out.
Yeah, he's already 110 pounds soaking wet.
People.
Yeah,
and got away before anybody noticed.
I mean, he does have a motive, but boy, if I were Michael and really trying to cover my tracks, I would be a little bit more obvious about it.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a big hole there. How
I know it's all in caps. It's capitalized.
So yeah, they're making a plan.
Mm-hmm. Hurley is totally spun out because Libby and Ana Lucia's bodies are still just
they're still
the
warm,
bedroom, covered by blood. They're 10 feet from them. They've not even like yes, it's all about individual priorities. Michael obviously really wants to get Walt back,
right?
But like everybody else, Hurley prime among them is in a grieving state. Like that's he can't focus on anything else at this point because of how distraught he is. So you're gonna get no assistance from Hurley.
I did enjoy some performances in this. You know, Hurley's performance is good, and actually Michael, while he's cranked up to 11 for all of this, like his whole thing about you got a son, Jack, like he's very one note throughout a lot of this episode, but it's a convincing one note,
I disagree.
Really?
It was in this moment I wrote Michael is a bad actor.
Oh, okay.
But his voice sounds like Chris Rock.
Oh. Yeah, not. No, I feel like he's got the father at the end of his rope thing, but then it's just strung out for 50 minutes. You know what
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I think like physically watching him, I like all of the right things were happening, but his delivery of some of these lines as like he was angry, but also just like putting it on. I mean, he is performing, but it was very performative and where I'm just going, I don't feel emotion behind this like I would if maybe somebody who is better at this.
Well, and this is something we talked about in some other episodes past too, but like when people are trying to deceive, when there's somebody on the show that's trying to deceive the others, there are certain actors who do a really good job of acting like bad actors. Michael Emerson being one of them. Like whenever Michael Emerson is putting on a performance on top of Ben Linus, he's very, very good at convincing us, the audience, that maybe he's not that good at doing that.
Right.
And so maybe it's a little bit of that, but maybe Harold Perrineau's just not as effective as Michael Emerson.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was real like it was noticeable through the entire episode, and this is where it started for me, where I was just like his outrage and his panic and everything for trying to get to his son was not working for me.
Sure. But then
I feel like a lot of my opinion on his performance is probably based off of the tent scene, which we'll get into.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But, well, maybe just me and Saeed are on the same page.
Oh, I fucking love Saeed.
I know we're gonna get there towards the end, but
all right, let's. 13 days ago. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they wrap this scene up by Jack is like, okay, we'll have the funeral, then we'll do Walt stuff, and then we come back to 13 days ago. Michael's just running through the jungle, heading for the big hole.
Compass east. Got it.
Check. Spots a dude. Peeing? Was he peeing, or was he just not facing?
I'm going to say yes. I was going to say yes. He was.
Because I was waiting for him to turn around and then Michael to put his gun on and be like, "Hey, you want to zip up?"
Dave wrote the same thing.
Right. Oh shit! This is just a page from that other script.
Yeah, this island. People always got the dicks out.
Dick out Island. It's Danny, I think. I think it's Danny.
It's Santa.
We find out for sure later that it's Danny that he sneaks up on. Yeah. But then Michael
Danny's the guy he sneaks up on.
Danny's the peeing guy.
Yeah.
Who we see in not his fake ass primitive camper costume later, where he's just like in jeans and a button-up shirt being a dickhead over at the other thing.
Yeah. But
Santa
comes and knocks him out.
Yeah, like he gets snuck up on by big scary other Santa. Tom. I love Tom. MC Gainey.
Yeah.
They snatch him and they that's it. Then we come back to today.
That gunfight was terrible, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I laughed out loud at the lasso.
the bola.
and it was like almost slow motion. I felt like it was just like a real slow wind up for that.
Yeah. Well, and
those things are awesome because like that's like actually how they work. It's not an easy thing to do, but if you know how to use one, like that's exactly how it works. Just like.
Well, and I believe it was Ethan used one in Homecoming against Jin and knocked his ass out. Mm-hmm. Just hit him in the chest and it dropped him pretty hard.
Yeah, we hear that noise just.
Yeah. Come back to the present.
Yup.
Fuck yeah, Mr. Echo, baby.
Yeah. Michael's washing up the blood. The fruit punch.
Yeah.
With a Dharma brand crime scene cleanup kit.
Yeah. Look at all this Tahitian treat on the floor.
Bucket just had a big Dharma logo on it, which I thought that was really funny.
I love Tahitian treat.
I know, it's so good.
It's so good.
And we're going to get pretty heavy-handed with the metaphor of two men with blood on their hands.
I would argue that it's a parable.
What did I say?
Story. It's the same shit. It's the same thing.
So this show is a parable about the story of Lost? Wait.
Well, I think parables need to have a lesson. I don't. If Lost had a lesson, it was don't let David Lindelof make television. But yeah, Echo's got the story that he tells.
Yeah, about a boy who killed his dog that attacked his sister. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, he was worried about is he going to go to hell because he beat this dog or killed this dog? But he
should.
Yeah,
I mean, it was not a good thing he did. It's one of the things that we're learning. It's like regardless of what your intentions are, the thing that ends up being more important are the consequences.
Right.
I think that sort of assuages Michael a little bit. He's like, oh, okay, maybe I won't go to hell.
Right. Yeah, it definitely does. Like, I got to do what I got to do. And it's like, well, that's not...
You murdered two people. Again,
right.
It doesn't matter what I know you wanted to get Walt back, but you killed two people.
Right.
So, philosophical question then.
Sure.
They're having all the... I mean, I know there's this whole thought in the Lost community that they're living in purgatory.
Mm-hmm.
So, do their crimes matter in purgatory? Does that decide whatever they do in purgatory? Does that decide whether they go to heaven or hell? If they choose to believe that,
if you go by the rules that they set up in the Good Place, it doesn't matter what they do because the you stop scoring points as soon as you die. Points only matter on Earth. So
is that what the fucking Good Place is about?
The Good Place is such a good show.
I thought it was a sequel to Good Burger with Abe Vigoda.
I mean, I understand how you got there.
Yeah.
Worth watching, JP. Worth
the
watching.
Abe Vigoda vehicle, Good Burger. Michael runs into the woods and pukes.
And that, I wouldn't say he pukes, he dry heaved.
Yeah.
There was nothing visible or auditory hitting the ground.
Yeah, he's dry heaving for sure.
Shaina's looking for that splash.
Well, I literally was like, what's going on? And I was just like, there's no puke coming out of there.
Yeah. Is that what happened next?
They didn't have the budget.
I didn't even write that part down, but I do remember that part happening. The next thing I have is we cut to the beach.
Jack comes upon him in the...
Oh, yeah.
And he's like,
it's
my son, my call.
It's the sequel to the Hatch meeting. It's like,
right.
Yeah... But it's one of those bad sequels where it's just the first movie again.
Yes, we did go to the beach, and I have a very all caps note on this beach thing because I had no idea what was going on.
The communication, the little scene between Charlie and Claire and Onion Head here.
Is it Turnip?
I'm calling him Onion Head.
Okay,
because that's a thing I'm doing now. For
just
me,
don't call him Pumpkinhead because that's already a licensed thing. We can't say that.
Yeah.
Just like we can't say the big game or whatever. Shaina, what is your note about this scene?
All caps. Vaccine? How topical.
I know. It's so, and especially, because I know a lot of people have strong, opinions about the vaccine. But Shaina, I feel like you're a perfect vaccine guest because you're a huge proponent of getting that good shot.
Get your shots. Let's get this shit over with.
Yeah.
Shots in arms, baby. Shots in arms. But I was like, see, look, they can get the vaccine all the way out to that island. I think that, you can get some in Missouri.
Well, okay. So we do need to have a conversation about this. Because, so Charlie's on fucking thin ice with Claire, and he's had the hots for her and whatever.
Yeah.
I do have a note. Claire would probably be an anti-vaxxer just based on Claire.
Big into crystals and astrologies and holistic whatever.
Yeah. But
she's like in that butthole, like getting your sunning your butthole thing.
Oh yeah, sunning your taint, sunning your
yeah.
I love that. I get a lot of moonlight in my hole. Capital H.
All caps hole.
Hole.
Yeah. But so here's the thing. So Charlie is on thin ice with Claire, and he's clearly trying to make amends. It's like, here, I got this amazing thing. Maybe before we start shooting at the baby and you and Charlie himself, maybe, I don't know, if only we had a fucking doctor on the island that we should consult about this to start shooting a fucking 70s air gun style injection method. Like,
wait, isn't that what they use in the military? They just use those guns?
Yeah, the pneumatic
not anymore. They stopped using those years ago.
Oh, I don't know.
They just give you regular fucking needles. That, I guess there were certain vaccines for going to certain regions where they did that, and it leaves like a real nasty scar on you, and like they don't do it anymore.
Is it like, how like a lot of either our parents or our grandparents, whoever, they had the crater size scar on their arm from getting, was it a smallpox vaccine or a polio vaccine? One of the two.
One of the two. Yeah.
One of the two. Is that the type of scar that thing will leave? So they were all getting the pneumatic injectors.
Let's put it on a baby.
Can I ask, and maybe you guys know, again, you have more context than I do, what is this vaccine for?
We have no fucking clue.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one that was lost on that.
Drink.
They're just like, oh, yeah, here's some vaccines. For what?
that was my note on this scene. It was like, a mystery vaccine. Neat.
Oh, it's for Legionnaire's disease. Are we worried about that here? Like,
you know what? If they ever ate Kraft macaroni and cheese, they don't know what's in that cheese dust. They can take this vaccine.
They'll be fine. Going back to your anti-vaxxer, like that was my other note was for this. I was like, if this is going to track here, 50%, so 18 of the remaining 36 survivors are going to be vaccine resistant. They're going to be like, I'm not doing that. This is my freedom to walk around on the beach without a vaccine. Like, God damn it.
Well, he said something about you have to take it every 9 days. What fucking vaccine do you have to take repeatedly vaccine every 9 days? Like,
and he's like, I tested it on myself. I feel fine. It's like,
what?
Why did you did you just see it? Be like, oh fuck yeah, liquid heroin.
Yeah, Charlie's into just trying anything.
Yeah, if it's got a needle, sign me up. So yeah, it seems like he's maybe gaining a little ground with her, but not leaps and bounds or anything like that.
Then Michael's back in the camp.
Everybody is excited to see him.
Why?
Seems.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
He's kind of a boner. Like, he's a super buzzkill. He's not a good dad. He's not a good dog owner. He doesn't seem to contribute much. Well, he made the showers, I guess, but like, we need to desalinate water, my guy. Don't worry about showers.
He was part of the raft community.
Oh.
The mini raft community.
Okay, so we haven't really...
Which we haven't touched on a ton.
No.
So like, I mean, that's where the bonding between like him and Jin comes from. Like,
okay, I didn't know that.
And this is not anything we've seen, just like based on the air dates of the episode where he disappears, number 11, the hunting party. He's been gone for about a week and a half.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's less of an instance of like, oh, thank God our favorite survivor's back. It's like, oh, a survivor's back. Like one disappeared and we got him back. Like doesn't matter who it is. I'm just glad that the person is back. But yeah, Jin has
love that for you. Love that for you that you're back.
Jin has a certain level of connection with Michael because of I think their raft experience.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. And here we are again, digging some more holes for bodies, digging some graves. I understand digging in sand is easier, but like you're so close to the beach.
It's so close to the beach. It must be working for them because they just keep burying people here.
Yeah. 13 days ago.
Yeah, 13 days ago. Michael's with the others.
Santa.
Yeah. And the Locke, Sawyer, and Jack are tailing Michael. They're following him. Locke has lost the trail, and Jack snaps at him. Dude, it's the middle of the night. Like the fact that you managed to follow him this far, like, say thanks once.
Yeah, Jack says you don't just lose a trail, and it's
you do.
Yeah, exactly. You absolutely do. And it's like, I understand that you got baby boy Johnny Locke on the trail, and so he's got what I would imagine is a pretty high success rate. But like, especially at night in the fucking jungle, you can just lose a trail. Like,
I've lost a trail during the day.
Right,
True
exactly.
Story. I mean, I got lost in the woods and when I was like a teenager and thought I was going the right direction, and like an hour later
Jesus.
got picked up by a truck, waved out a truck, and we're like, we're lost. And we were going in the opposite direction where we were supposed to be going. And I was just like, I was going to die out here. Get eaten by a goddamn bear.
Fucking, I several times doing land nav in the army, like, I think I'm 100% heading the right direction. And then you get to a point, you're like, how did I turn 180 degrees? I don't fucking know what I did.
Right. It's not like there's anything in nature that you can use as a point of reference to like make sure that you're walking in an exact straight line. Like you're just walking, you're going to waver and, fucking Jack being mean to Locke. Like I was actually mad at Jack being mean to Locke. Like usually I don't care if Jack's mean to Locke, but this time I was like, be nice.
My baby boy's got tough skin.
It's like leather.
Yeah. Like old.
His face looks like a catcher's
old
mitt.
leather.
Loose skin and old balls.
Shut up. So then, there's a little confrontation in a clearing. And Santa gets to yell, light him up, bring her out. And I said, light him up, bring him out, rawhide.
Rawhide.
That's anything.
What else was that guy in?
1,000 things. Con Air.
I was looking, I was just like, where have I seen this dude before? Con Air, con shit, that movie sucks. That's a stolen line.
Yeah, I can't remember what that's from, but I remember that joke. That's so funny.
I love that that's like, out of all the things that MC Gainey's been in, like, yes, that's the most relatable to our audience is Con Air, and that's going to be your number one go-to.
Here's the thing. I know he's been in a lot of things. The thing I've seen him most in, personally, is Con Air. I've seen that movie 14, 15 times. Like, I don't care. Like, it is not a great movie. I'm going to watch it this afternoon. Okay. So this is where we see like Alex and Danny, and like they're like Alex gags him, and like they're trying to keep Michael quiet. They were trying to get rid of Jack, Sawyer, and Locke. But yeah, Alex is like super not into being with these guys. Not super not into it, but she's like really like, oh, I'm sorry, we have to kidnap you. Like,
right.
Whereas Tom and Danny are like, yeah, let's get him.
Let's fucking do this.
So.
Yeah, and they're trying to not have Kate see Michael, and
Kate's there. They have Kate for some reason. I don't know how that happened.
Whatever. Everyone's just always getting captured. I thought it was Claire, but of course not. We rag on Claire for getting captured a lot. I think it only happened once since we started watching this show.
Well, it was attempted several times.
Yes, yeah.
But because it's something, and this is what it is. Alex knows about Claire and the baby, and that's part of the reason why they're always trying to snatch her is because she's pregnant. And so, but we don't know anything about why the others care about pregnancy or on the island.
Whatever,
we'll get there, maybe or not.
Wait, who's pregnant?
Claire. Claire. The blonde woman from
the beach?
From the beach
vaccine?
with the baby.
Yeah.
Previously, that baby was in her. You see, Shaina, when a man and a woman care about each other.
Okay, hold on.
Well, I
Let
was
me,
like-
let me
I
get
was
my
like,
notes.
I
What
was
about a
confused. I'm
man
like,
and a
is
woman?
she-
Hold on.
I was like, is she currently pregnant or is that big ass baby on the beach? Because that baby was
That
gigantic.
baby is huge. It's supposed to be like 12 days old, and it's a monster baby. Like,
That baby was clearly 40 years old.
John Locke? Wait, hold on.
40-year-old baby.
Listen, casting directors have a hell of a time getting actual baby ass babies. That's a
it's
big
tough.
That's a big fucking ask. So Santa gets Kate and is like, give us your guns. And as soon as Jack and Sawyer and Locke see that it's Kate, they give up their firearms.
I would have loved to see a little like they're like, give up your guns and we'll let her go, and then Locke's like, give us a minute, we're gonna take a vote, and the three of them get together, and then just Locke gets outvoted. He's like, I don't care, we keep our guns, and Sawyer and Jack are like, we want to fuck her, so let's get her back.
They bring out Michael and they're like, put down your guns, and then they pull out more guns. Which I know this isn't that interesting, but Locke throws down a cig and a 1911, and Jack pulls out a cig, and it's like one person should just have more magazines rather than one person have two guns, but whatever. That's just called ammunition management. I don't know.
Cut back to today. Jack and Sawyer are getting stuff out of Sawyer's stash, guns, ammo, the magazine, guns and ammo.
Yeah. That's what I'm sitting on a pile of right now. We get a lot of Sawyer in the next few scenes, and I wrote a note. Sawyer talks like a computer that watched 500 hours of second-rate NASCAR and then was asked to write a script.
Thank you. I screenshotted the subtitles on this.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Because I was like, what?
Yeah. He constantly has nicknames for people, but he changes them like mid-thought. Like mid-sentence, he'll just make up multiple nicknames for one person in one sentence.
He had a line later on where he used 4 different nicknames in the span of about 10 seconds. I literally had no idea what he was talking about.
I wrote that. That's what I screenshotted. I had to go back and be like,
Yeah,
and I had to write, is this guy racist?
Yes.
Okay. And then I was like, yeah, okay, go ahead. We're not there yet, but I did write down the nicknames of everybody.
It's like if you look at a pro-con list of Sawyer, like things that are good about him, things are bad. It's like, oh, he's charming, kind of handsome, and he's got like sort of a rough around the edges charm. Like that's his column, and then his con column is racist, misogynist, violent, kleptomaniac.
Yeah. Well, and like he refers to Saeed as like
Captain Arab.
Captain Arab,
Captain
which
Arab,
is pretty
and then
horrible.
he says something about Red Beret, I think. Which
Yes.
because
Here. I'll go for it. I don't know who he was referring to, but
Sure.
he used the terms grape ape,
Yep.
dirty dozen, red beret, and Captain Arab.
Yep. and that was the one where I
Yes.
had to look it up because I had no idea. Apparently, grape ape is referring to Hurley.
Sure.
I
Red
Red Beret and Captain Arab are both Saeed.
But he never wears a red beret. We've seen him in a black and a green.
I think he's referring to his skin color.
No, the Republican Guard wear red berets as part of the
Saeed
military.
doesn't.
No,
though.
he's a racist.
But he is racist. But and then the Dirty Dozen is referring to the collection of them going to rescue Walt. In the same instance, he also mentions Pippi Longstocking, which is Kate.
And he calls her Freckles.
Right. So
Yeah.
he gives her 2 nicknames in the same story. And
Well, Pippi does have a lot of freckles.
that's okay. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. It's like
And
it's like
she
a
is so
play on
strong,
his-
she can lift a horse above her head.
Jesus.
Just some trivia for you.
That's not bad.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Saeed's gonna join the mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though Michael doesn't want him to. Jack says that Michael said that Saeed can't come. Saeed's like, well, I want to come. And Sawyer's like, he can come because I am in charge of the guns.
Well, I put that Locke and Echo went out to go find Henry. I said, hey, consider that done, baby. You got the dream team.
He'll be back. He'll be back soon. We cut to the hatch from there after that thing. Echo sees the magnetic wall.
Yeah.
And then he heads over to the push the button. And this
He's
is
having
where
a good time.
Yeah. Because he sits down. He's just like enamored with this computer. All of a sudden, he's just like click, 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 computer, and it's like,
did he just
what's
type
happening?
boobs in? Because that's what I looked like the first time I put boobs in Google.
Like, what's happening? Like, why is it like literally nothing happened? He's like, there was a magnet there. I mean, that's kind of cool, but like, it wouldn't be like, I don't know. How did that computer work by the magnet? Never mind. Charlie comes and he's like, hey, Echo, I thought we were building a church. What?
Yeah.
Echo's like, I'm not doing the church anymore, dude. I've moved on. Computer time now.
And Charlie's a total asshole about it. Like,
he's
do
like,
your own shit.
Charlie's like, look, I'm having a real problem, like trying to stay clean from heroin, even though there's no heroin on the island. Can you come build the church with me? And Echo's like, no, go do heroin. I don't give a fuck. and while you're out looking for heroin, get my sleeping bag and bring it back here. Snap too.
Yeah. And Charlie's like, no, you can do anything, big.
11 days ago, we arrive at the big hole.
Big hole. Big hole.
Big hole, big hole, big hole, big hole.
There you go.
It's so good. I was waiting for them to pull up to the camp, and then Michael's like, I'm tired. You've been marching me all day and all night. And then he sees the thing. He's like, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Oh, big hole.
Oh, big hole. Okay.
Gotcha.
There's another hatch.
Yeah.
That their garden. They set him down. And Danny's like, oh, hey, I need to take a blood sample. A liter will probably be enough.
My God.
What was happening? First of all, I just stabbed him in the bicep.
Yeah. I mean,
didn't even not searching for any veins.
Yeah, you could get some blood that way. You can also get some muscle tissue and just a bunch of other stuff. Probably.
In addition to just how uncomfortable it is to watch X, you're like, that's not how you take blood. He ends it by going, see you in the funny pages.
Yeah. What?
Right before he walks, he takes the vial, puts it in a bag, and goes, see you in the funny pages, and walks away. And I was like, what is happening?
He just drops this sharp, the thing that he just took into a plastic bag, and I was like, that's how you're gonna get plastic in his blood sample too. The needle's just gonna go through the bag. Like, just go ahead and stick that in your pocket, Danny. What the fuck?
Yeah.
See you in the funny page. Yeah.
That's on the same level as Rousseau just cleaning the needle for Saeed with like sandpaper and then going like, Marmaduke's hilarious. What?
Did you see last week's
I'm
Family
more into
Circle?
Kathy.
Is it Family Circus?
I don't know.
Family Circus.
Say Family Circus so I can dub that in.
No, we'll just cut mine and use Shana's joke about Kathy because that's way better. Yeah, that was horrible. That whole thing. I need some blood. That was weak.
Yeah.
Well, and clearly there's going to be a storyline somewhere about that blood. I'm not going to know where that's going. So you're going to have to fill me in the future.
That's going to be the next episode. The next episode is Michael's blood sample, and it's all it's about.
What would happen if they were on a stool sample?
Oh boy.
What would that look like?
Turkey
Just comes
baster.
up to him with a spoon.
Turkey baster.
Remember those funny pages I was talking about? Bend over. God.
Oh, capital H.
We meet Miss Clue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, she's trying to be Michael Emerson so bad.
And it is not working.
No.
She's got a lot of questions about Walt.
She's spooky, though.
She is spooky, that's for
I
sure.
got a weird vibe, though, because, like, Mr. Echo has a weird name, and then she's Miss Clue. I was like, do we just give all black people, like, weird names? Like, I also
thought a lot about for some reason, the movie Clue.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it's with the candlestick in the ballroom.
It's Mrs. Clue at the big hole with the dirty needle.
Exactly.
She's shitty to him, but like that also I also don't care. She's like, for somebody who wants Walt back so much, you don't seem to know a lot about it. He's like, well, I'm an absentee father.
Yeah,
like,
he just got done saying I'm a deadbeat dad. Like,
right?
What?
Like,
yeah, that's what I just informed you of.
It's part of the gig is not knowing about your child. Like it makes being a deadbeat dad super easy to know less about them.
Also, ask those same questions to Christian Shepherd, a physically present father. He probably wouldn't know the answers.
So like, I don't have any son. Jack's standing right next to him. It's like, what about me? I thought you were the butler. We cut back to today. Michael kicks Saeed off the mission. He's like, "No, you can't come. This is my call. We're not bringing the best combatant." because it's my idea.
Yeah, the thing that Sawyer said, like, yeah, if we're gonna go to war, we should take the guy that's actually been to war. I was like, hey, Sawyer, you get your two brain cells.
That's a good idea.
Shook hands for a moment.
By extension, if you're gonna do anything, bring Saeed. He's clearly the most capable at doing anything on the island. He's the best survival skills, best detention, prisoner detention skills, best survival skills. Like, he does it. He's better at everything.
Yeah.
Charlie is working on the church.
Shaina, just for your edification, those statues are filled with heroin, and we learned that in a previous episode.
Oh, I thought it was just like, get this religious shit off my island. He's just like really pissed off about religion.
We can start anew with this island, and we're not bringing Judeo-Christianity here at all. We're getting this shit out of here.
Charlie follows Vincent back to Sawyer's tent, or I'm assuming it's Sawyer's tent, where there's the stash of all the other Virgin Mary statues that are crammed to the gills with heroin. And this is a big moment for Charlie. He decides to toss him in the ocean, I guess. Locke sees him do this, and I was expecting Locke to give him like one of those sage nods, like you finally done it, boy. But Locke just kind of stares at him. Like, I'm not impressed. Like,
whatever.
Like,
that's what you should have done.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the easiest way to kick heroin would just be get rid of all the heroin. But there was heroin on the island, and you never got rid of it. So, what are you doing? I'm no longer interested in you. Come back to the hatch. Jack confronts Echo about him and Locke not finding Henry.
Yeah.
Like, you went after him. Why didn't you bring him back?
It's like, it's a big island. Like, it's a very big island.
The thing that I thought was funny was just like, we've seen this happen with Locke before. Sometimes he'll be like looking for something, and he'll have sort of like some sort of island ADD and just like not keep looking for them anymore.
This is what I'm doing now. This is
So I'm assuming they got about 15 feet along the trail of chasing Henry, and Locke was like, oh, wait, actually, other cool island shit later.
Well, we haven't seen what happened, but like Boone got fucking killed, and John was like, nah, I'm about this hatch now. I don't fucking care about this crew cut. Like,
cost of doing business. Inside the hatch, then Jack. Jackie and Sawyer get together, and they're talking about getting caught in a net again, and Sawyer confesses to Jack about dunking on Alicia, and
I screwed her.
I know you're on broadcast television, but that's the strangest way to say that.
Yeah. You could say we slept together.
Right.
We straight up boned, yo.
Yeah, I took it to Pound Town, like
capital H hole.
Like anything was better than that.
Well, but he says something about like, she got the jump on me.
Yeah, she jumped me. That's how she got my gun. It's like, you have 19 guns. She got a gun. Like,
but also, wait, so she got the jump on you, she got your gun, and then you slept with her? Like, what? If I'm Jack, I'm like, wait, I'm confused by this story. Take me back to the beginning.
Well, and the thing is, I was confused about it too until I remembered that we saw when this happened.
Right, like we do, but the way he's describing it to Jack is very
not
confusing.
How it happened.
Right.
Look, he just had a fear boner and wanted to do something about it.
Right. Well, and Ana Lucia saw it, and she was like, oh, hey. And she, it's again, intention versus consequence. It doesn't matter that it's a fear boner. The consequence is, it's a boner.
Learned that one on Reading Rainbow. Anyways, don't
take my word for it. And this little moment here, this was so oddly placed after the conversation that preceded it. But he's like, Jack's like, why are you telling me this? Like, and he's like, you're the closest thing to a friend I've got.
And she's gone, and I do feel bad about that because we were intimate.
Yeah, and I was like, this might be the first time in our watching of this that we've seen Sawyer display a real emotion.
Well, and clearly, we're a season into the show now, but like even just the willingness to give Saeed a gun and be like, this guy's got to come with us. Like, compare that to the pilot part 2, where he's just like, you're an Arab, you crashed the plane. Like, okay, so he's changing, perfect,
he's growing. He's far cry from perfect. He won't get there till season 5, but Then he
Oh,
becomes
joy.
perfect, and he's the best. Michael tries to get Hurley to come along, and
Yeah.
Hurley is still grieving. Hurley's still got things going on in his own life. He doesn't have time to deal with Walt's thing. There are 35 people on the island. Take 34 of them. Let Hurley do his thing.
Right. 3 days ago.
Yeah. Miss Clue feeds Michael while he's been in their custody over these past 7 days, whatever.
Yeah, it's been a week.
They've taken one of ours. We know who it is. Henry Gale. And so she's like, all right, so with this new development, we got something for you. Go get him out, bust him out, and we'll give you Walt. That's a new development.
Mm-hmm.
You and him can bail, but you got to go get Ben out. And on top of that, here's a list of 4 people.
It has to be these exact 4 people.
No one else.
Yeah. And Michael's like, no, fuck you. I'm not doing this. I don't believe you. I'm not going to do anything until I see my son. So then they bring Walt in, and Walt is alive. And then we get all of those little lost little nuggets where they talk
That
about.
Stressed me out.
Yeah, they talk about things without telling you, like, oh, we're going to put you back in the room.
In the
and
room
you've been
again.
taking tests and.
It's all weird. They're not who they say they are, Dad. Don't trust them. This is another one where it's like, oh, the people who have me in captivity, I shouldn't trust them.
I pictured the room just being like the room from the Matrix that the architect is in, and it's just TVs everywhere, but it's all tuned into like diners, drive-ins, and dives. Like, no, don't put me back in the room.
And they're all playing a different episode.
Right.
Just chaos.
Yeah, just all Guy Fieri. Just
taking it to flavor time. I can tell you that when they were kind of pulling apart at the end of that scene and they were just yelling "I love you" at each other as they're being pulled apart, I immediately just thought of Talladega Nights when they're like, "I love you." What? Nothing. Like, immediately, that's where my head went to.
I think that's where we're differing here, Shaina, because like I was like, oh, like this is good, like. It's very one note, like it's just a father, like, you know, at his breaking point. But
this is the one scene where you guys talked earlier about how Michael's performance throughout this episode, all the way up until this point, I don't believe anything Michael's doing. But this one scene in this tent, that does a lot of lifting as far as Harold Perrineau's performance in this, because that was, to me, kind of heart-wrenching.
I can agree with you on that.
The episode has a good Lost style cliffhanger, right? Hear me out. We don't jump around in time. We start the episode with this scene and him yelling, "I love you, Walt." Boom, cold open, Lost logo, and then we go in chronological order. How much more effective is that? It's less confusing. It's more effective. We get to the point. We understand more of Michael's motivation from the get-go, and that it informs why he's being such a fucking idiot around everybody else.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like in these episodes, because they do we now see they've done this more than once, where they fill in some time from an episode that had previously happened already. These flashbacks don't take place years ago before the crash. This is filling in stuff that happened since they got there. Yeah, if these were shot in, or if these were shown to the audience in chronological order, just filling in that gap, you could still argue it's a flashback.
Yeah.
You don't have to say these are the flashbacks in this episode. It's like this episode is a flashback to what happened off camera during the hunting party.
Right.
You guys should work in media.
Back to the beach. This is like the last scene before the end of the show. Everybody's collecting for the funeral.
Can we talk about how nice those blankets are that those dead people are being buried in? I was like, you might want to save those for yourself.
Yeah, once everybody walks off and you're ready to fill the hole up, grab the blankets, run them through the wash once on hot, but keep them like
they're pretty good quality.
Yeah, it's not bad. Everybody's walking up to the funeral, and Saeed goes up to Jack and is like, "Hey, guess what? Michael's a fucking snitch."
Guess what? Fucking nothing gets past me. I read the script.
I got my finger on the pulse as usual. I came over here to tell you this because you didn't figure it out.
Y'all are a bunch of dumb people.
Because of course Jack's like, well, let's go confront him. It's like, no. You know he's playing you. Play him back.
Saeed seems like the only smart person there.
Yeah.
It's because he is.
We've had that a lot from Saeed. The fact that he doesn't play a more prominent role in the show just kind of bothers me.
It's a little frustrating.
Because otherwise they'd have gotten off this island in like 12 minutes.
There wouldn't even have been a second season. It would have been a season.
He would have flown that plane.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and Sawyer would have just been in the jack. He's hijacking it. No, he's saving us. Leave him alone.
Yeah, go away. So yeah, we're having some eulogies.
Let's talk about that fake ass baby. Okay.
Yeah. I'll talk about a fake baby all day.
It's the same one from
American Sniper.
American Sniper.
Yeah, it probably was. I mean, first of all, there's this baby that she's holding, Claire's baby.
Yeah.
Onion head, whatever you call him.
Yep.
That baby was fake. And I was like, first of all, it's about 40 times smaller than that, adult
Than the real
child they
baby
have
from
playing the real
before.
baby.
Oh my god.
And like, that's all I could stare at.
Yeah. Jack does Ana Lucia's eulogy, which he keeps pretty simple, which makes sense because chronologically he's only known her a couple of weeks.
Yeah. The Tailies haven't been around that long.
It is of course sad that somebody's dead, but like you can only say so much about somebody you hardly know,
Mm-hmm.
It's like that could be the eulogy. This is Ana Lucia. I don't really know her, but I'm sad she's gone. And that's basically what it was. And so
Yeah, Hurley does Libby's.
I got a little full clumped.
Yeah.
I got a little show like
I have no idea what's going on, but this is good.
Yeah. I was on the edge of tears when it was happening. Like it was Jorge
He's very
Garcia.
good at that. Yeah.
Ugh.
How dare you make me feel feelings?
Yeah, knock it off. I'm trying to be angry at the rest of this episode. Stop it.
And it's
Son of a bitch.
so earnest and cute in his own little. She's a psychiatrist, psychologist. I don't know, one or the other. She helped people. Yeah,
And that was the thing too. Is like as he was like at first I was just like getting caught up into his the tone of his voice and his facial expression, his body language. That was all the things that was like making my emotions rise. But then finally the content of what he was saying, when he got to she helped people, she helped me. Like that was the thing that I was finally like, oh God.
Yeah.
Early, I need to hug you.
Then,
John Locke is just like, hey, look at that funeral. I'm not going. What the fuck, dude? Like
that's me every time we have a mandatory meeting at work. I'm just not going to that.
That's accurate.
Just hacks his splint off with this big jungle knife. He's just like, I'm fine now.
Fuck
I mean,
this
that was
shit, I'm
barely
out.
being held on.
Yeah.
He could have just slipped that right off.
If he would have stood up, it just wouldn't have come with him.
Yeah.
All he had to do was like pump his shoes from his Nike pumps and just be like, I'm out of here.
But yeah, he's got no interest, apparently. Where he's going, nobody knows.
Going to do spooky shit with fucking Mr. Echo. That's what he's going to go do.
We just get the sad walking away theme from the Hulk.
And yeah, Hurley he throws a look at Michael, which catches Michael off guard. Like, is he blaming me for this? And he's like, nah, I'm going to go with you. And Michael's like, all right, I got
like,
my four.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. The only thing that I cared about.
Mm-hmm.
There's a boat.
Boats and hoes, baby.
And boat. That was my last note. Boat.
Boat. Yep, son.
Boat.
Spotting a boat. Boat. Everybody see? Yeah, there's a sailboat just like drifting.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And that's it.
That's it.
Lost.
Did we like it? Was this a good use? Time is the most precious commodity.
It's our one non-renewable resource.
Yeah. What did we think about this here episode, Shaina?
I didn't need to watch it. I mean, I did for this, but completely lacking all context. This definitely was not a standalone episode. I know that's a question you're going to ask. I'm like, this could not stand alone. People would have no idea what's going on. Michael's annoying. Adam, like you said, the one redeeming scene there with his son where you actually felt like he wasn't, like I felt like he was not being an actor.
Right.
Yeah.
Felt more genuine. But would this inspire me to watch other episodes? No.
Yeah. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Yeah.
100% fair, yeah.
Especially when your big cliffhanger is boat? Boat?
Okay, well, I have to say, it wasn't like, part of me was like, should I watch the next episode so I know where this boat's coming from?
Know what's happening with the boat.
Yes.
But why boat?
But like, Yes, but at the same time, I was just like, no, I'm just not emotionally invested in that.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's very
Back to watching Gilmore Girls for the 400th time.
Yeah. Good use of your time. Good use of time. Adam?
Yes. I agree with Shaina. This is an episode that 100% does not stand on its own legs.
Right.
There are a couple of interesting scenes in it, but without, I'm not even saying without the previous episode, without the 2 years of television that have come before it, this episode makes almost no sense.
Yep. I agree with both of you. I'm not going to add anything to that.
This is the thing. This episode is probably a lot better if you're watching it in order.
Sure.
For our show, no, this episode's horrible.
Yeah. 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 Y'all want to do some MVPs?
Let's do it.
Let's do some fucking MVPs.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, this is Lost MVP. So, this is your favorite character from this episode, minus your context, minus anything you know about Lost. Who was your most valuable player on the island this week? Shaina.
Well, it's got to be Saeed. He's
Yes.
the only good character.
That's such a solid pick, like 99% of the time.
You'll almost never go wrong.
He's the only one that knows what's going on and actually is like, seems to, be smart.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
100% fair.
Good pick.
JP.
I am picking Alex.
Yes.
As we discussed
Queen.
in our episode with Jacob, she's our wood nymph. Everyone's so concerned about the same stuff on the island. Alex is concerned with other interesting things, like, hey, where'd you get that dress? Hey, did Claire have her baby? Like, she's just this little nugget of positivity to be like, oh, there's these other fandoms I'm invested in, and I love her energy. She's just
So good.
little Alex.
So good.
Adam, MVP.
I'm going with Hurley.
Yeah.
Just based on the strength of his, basically the strength of his performance right at the end of the episode. He didn't do a ton else otherwise. Yeah, but every time we saw him, like this is a man who's in the early stages of the grieving process, and he's working through it.
Yeah.
Like, and Jorge Garcia just performed that well, and yeah, just dug it. Hurley.
Yeah.
Can I change my answer to the fake baby?
Yes.
Wait, that's your MVP?
You can give
MVP,
you can give an
fake
honorable
baby.
you can give an honorable mention.
Yeah,
to the fake
honorable
baby.
mention. Fake baby at the funeral. It was very respectful for that. Did not cry the entire time.
Oh, we didn't mention that Claire grabbed Charlie's hand. So maybe they made nice.
Don't care. They just don't. They could throw themselves in the ocean with the heroin.
They kind of.
He's out there snorting the water.
There's some fish that are
drowning.
super fucked up now. Maybe they shouldn't eat the fish from that
It's just
area
like-
for a while.
I think I hear Charles Mingus playing from the fucking Tide. Are the fish listening to jazz right now? What's going on?
Lost Forever. Who is your least favorite? Who could you have done without due to their actions in this episode specifically? Shaina?
Michael. This whole episode was about Michael. We didn't need him.
When your centric character is your least favorite, that's pretty fucked up.
That's not
He's
good.
so bad. Like, every time he was on screen, I'm like, can we go to a different storyline?
Right.
JP, you're lost forever.
The captain of the boat. What are you doing there? You're so fucking off course. You are lost. You gotta go back to captain school. You're
Crashing
what are
a
you doing?
funeral. Read
Ugh.
the room, dude.
Get out of here. Jeez Louise. Adam Lost Forever.
Damon Lindelof for making this the episode before the finale. Get fucked, dude. Like, what?
Oh, this is before the finale.
The next
boy.
episode is the 2-part season finale. This does not like the boat. That's not enough for me to care about what's going on into the finale. That's not a big enough thing to drive to get me to the next place. I'm emotionally. It's like Shaina said, she's not emotionally invested enough to watch the next episode. I am emotionally invested, and I don't care.
Right. Burning questions.
Why did you make me watch this? Why did it have to be this episode random number generator?
Yeah. Come on, random.org. You're better than this.
Hook it up. Where was Locke going? I guess that was the one thing I was curious about. Like, yeah, this is the finale. Why, Locke? You know the finale's coming up. Stay near the action.
Yeah, like what's Mr.
It's
Echo
kind of sort of a
doing?
meta excuse for it, but like,
Yeah.
don't go off, don't fuck off. Like,
Maybe he's the captain of the boat.
Maybe. I just want to know what Mr. Echo's doing. Like, well, he's very interested in the computer. That's about it. Like,
I mean, one of my burning questions is, where's all this infrastructure coming from?
yeah,
like the hatches and everything, like the computers and all that stuff. Yeah,
we've had.
Yes, I was just like, there's a lot in. I mean, this is obviously end of season 2, so I mean, but it's only 60 some days into the actual since the crash. I'm like, you guys were really working to get all this up and running. I mean, they can't put a shovel together, but they have like a shower
and a computer.
We start to get some answers about the Dharma Initiative in season 3, and then many more answers in 4, 5, and 6 too. So it starts to trickle out at some point, but not yet.
Shaina, thank you for joining us. Thanks for sticking it out with us here.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'll be back if you want me to be back.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
And then I will ask again, why did you make me watch this?
Yes.
We'll make sure to bring you on for an actual entertaining episode.
Yeah.
That'll hopefully.
You can't promise that. You don't know.
That's fair. That's
random. I mean, random.org might be out to get me.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug?
No.
Capital H hole.
I'm gonna plug that big hole.
Get vaccinated.
Yes, I would like to plug getting the COVID vaccine. It is important. It's our only way out of here.
This episode, I believe, will air in December of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that, yes, 45% of the population will still have not gotten it.
Yeah. People will be treating the coronavirus with just poison. They'll just be taking poison and saying that fixes it. So.
Go ahead and take your horse dewormer. Yeah. Survival of the fittest.
Yeah. I'm watching somebody try to shoot themselves up with dewormer while running up a stack of milk crates.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not. See, in December, people aren't going to know what you're talking about. It's milk crates.
That's way too topical. It's like mentioning the ice bucket challenge. What?
I'm 400 years old now, so I was like, what are people talking about milk crates for? I have no idea. I had to go search for it because I'm not down with what the kids are doing. I'm 84.
Lord.
All right. Well, thanks, Grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
JP, what are we doing next time?
All right. Well, if y'all are looking to be lost with us, next time we will be watching Season 1, Episode 19, Deus Ex Machina. That is a lock episode, baby. Yeah.
I remember, I don't remember exactly what happens in it, but I know what we're going to find out. How did Boone get hurt?
Oh my God! Finally,
what killed Boone? This is the episode right before our first episode, or our second episode. This is the episode right before.
I'm sure it'll be underwhelming because I don't give a shit about Boone anymore.
I couldn't be more excited.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you everybody for listening to Lost on Lost. I'm Adam.
I'm JP.
Do you have any idea what's going on this show?
Nope.
Me neither. Lost on Lost is produced and edited by me and JP.
We wish to acknowledge that we live, work, and produce our show on occupied land.
Burbank, California is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Kizh, and Fernandino Tataviam peoples.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miama, and Ho-Chunk peoples.
And Lost was produced in Hawaii on the lands of the Kanaka Maoli.
Visit native-land.ca to learn more about the land you live and work on.
You can engage with us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at Lost on Lost 1.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com or support us with dollar monies at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
Thanks to Lostpedia and its community of contributors, Danny Schmitz, random.org, and as always, you the listeners for tuning in.
We're hosted at Podbean. You can hear us there or wherever you get your podcasts, except MySpace. We're not on MySpace.
Yet.